Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco Dish Out on Movies, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. And it's just Marco here once again to talk about WandaVision. I never thought I would say that, but I would like to reiterate, I did not feed the mouse watching this show. So, I'm not supporting them by watching this show, if you get what I mean. But I just found it, and so I watched it, and yeah. This is my review of the first 2 episodes. Both, spoiler alert, both of them were trash. It made me wonder, like, really? Like, this is what people were buzzing about? Really? It made it made me laugh out loud. Like, this is some shitty ass television. Like, you guys paid for Disney Plus so you could watch this. You paid for Disney Plus so you could watch Vision get gum stuck in his gears so that he would act drunk in a magic show. You bought Disney Plus so you could watch Wanda going, "Hey Viz, what are you doing, Viz?" You guys, this. I mean, episode 1 was bad, and then episode 2 was like, hold my beer. I mean, what were they thinking? Who in the hell turns on WandaVision and then says, hey, I don't want to watch WandaVision. I want to watch Dick Van Dyke, but with Wanda and Vision in it. That is the stupidest idea I've ever heard of. And it's so short, too. Like, it's only like 20 minutes? I mean, what a fucking cheap show. What a cheap little fucking thing. Like, who made this? Who made this shitty show? Who's responsible? I want the people responsible thrown out of the industry right now, because this is shameful programming. This is not good. So you can tell I didn't like this show. I haven't gotten through the rest of the show yet, but what I mean is the first 2 episodes. So the first episode covers it covers, in quotes, it covers Wanda and Viz, and they're this happy couple, and they're happy in this black and white world, and it's like a sitcom, but with Vision and Wanda. And basically what happens is Vision has to impress his boss, and the boss is played by this really great actor who was in A Serious Man. He's really good. I really liked him in that movie, but it made me just want to watch that movie, and you know how much I didn't like that movie, so that says something. I didn't even like that movie, but I would rather watch that over this crap. And so, and then they're having like an anniversary, Wizen and Wanda. What the fuck did I just say? Wizen and Wanda. Wizen and Wanda. They're having an anniversary of some sorts. They can't figure out what. And then Vision's gotta the Viz, he's gotta have his boss over for dinner so he can impress him and get that promotion he's been wanting to get for a long time. Well, things happen. Things go awry. And it's just this shitty episode with no superhero stuff in it at all, except for Wanda doing some witch cooking things. Apparently she's really powerful. She's so powerful. In fact, I think they said she's like the most powerful person in the MCU. But then when it comes to cooking, she's trash, of course, because, we can't have a woman good at cooking anymore. That's too. Oh, that's from the 1950s. Oh wait, this is parodying the 1950s. So why wouldn't she be good at cooking, even if it's with magic? And so they end up eating breakfast for dinner, which is retarded, to say the least. And it's basically just a sitcom. And then at the end, they create wedding rings for each other, and they're looking at their wedding rings. Like, wow, what a great show, WandaVision, yay! I give the first episode an F-. Fuck that shit. The second episode was better. What the fuck was that? The second episode was... It was worse in the fact that it didn't really progress the plot at all. But it was better in the sense that it was more entertaining. So I'm gonna give it 1 grade, but I will say I'd say the episode 2 was an F- as well, but because of entertainment value, I give it a C-, because the second episode was more entertaining. It was funnier. It was funny. I didn't laugh at the first episode at all. I mean, that's another thing. I didn't even laugh at any of the quote jokes. And with the second episode, at least I laughed at the magic show and some stuff with that. And another thing is the fact that this is one of my biggest pet peeves of all time with movies and TV shows nowadays. I hate it so much when they try to look back at the 50s and the 40s and give their take on it, like Pleasantville, that type of thing, where they take the 50s and 60s and 40s and they're like, remember when white people were the only people around and there was just like one black person? And remember when men went to work and women stayed at home? And, it's just like this shitty, like, one-dimensional view of the world back then. And what made it even worse was the fact that they were, quote, parodying old shows. And now here's the thing. With the first episode, they were parodying Dick Van Dyke. And I gotta admit, I've only ever seen like 1 episode of Dick Van Dyke. Not really into that show at all. But I have seen Leave It to Beaver, the whole series. I've seen the Andy Griffith Show, the whole series, like 10 times. I love that show. I've seen Mayberry RFD, the spinoff. I've seen I Love Lucy. I've seen some old shows. The first episode did not remind me of any of those at all. It was like Pleasantville. It was like Pleasantville, but bad. At least with Pleasantville, you could tell that there was like it was like a tribute. It was like, hey, here's all those shows that you watched in the 50s and the black and white shows. Here's how funny they were. Here's some funny things in them. Like the fact that they had to have separate beds and stuff like that. That's funny. It's funny because you don't think about it, and it's funny the fact that they were forced to do that because of censors and stuff like that. But with this, it's like a jabbing thing. It's like, this is what the 50s were like, and it was really, glad I'm not in that era anymore. And then with the second episode, I got to admit, the second episode reminded me of Bewitched. It did not remind me of I Love Lucy, like people were saying, I think, that it was supposed to be like, but it reminded me of Bewitched, the way that she used magic to help get out of things and all that stuff. It really did remind me of that. And so, I gotta say, it was better, but it's like, what's the point of this trash show? There's nothing good happening. It's just doing sitcoms, and it's like, why are you doing that? Nobody wants to see that. I mean, that's another thing. Okay, time for a rant. That was a weird sound. That's like a fat guy noise. Like, I was just sitting up. I promise I was not like. That sounded weird. But there was one time where I matched with this girl on a dating app, which I won't say what it is, and I told her I really like the Andy Griffith Show. That's like one of my favorite TV shows. And she was like, oh, ew, my grandmother watches that show. And then she blocked me. And it's like, wow, really? The fuck? Well, it's funny because I bet you if I found that same girl today that she loves WandaVision, and I bet there's a lot of people that refuse to watch black and white shows, black and white movies. But then when WandaVision does it, oh my god! Did you see WandaVision episode 1 and 2? Oh, that was good. Ooh, oh my god, it was so funny. And those Easter eggs, those little, oh my god, the toaster was made by Stark Industries. That's really cool. Oh, did you see? At the end, there was a voice saying Wanda, and that's going to lead to the reveal of the secret. You know, that's how these idiots think. These idiots who, you know, they won't watch old movies, they won't watch old shows, but they'll watch WandaVision, and then they'll say WandaVision is fantastic. That's the type of bullshit audience we're dealing with nowadays. This sheep audience who will just like anything as long as Disney makes it. Anything as long as it's Marvel. So yeah, overall, hated both episodes. Would never watch them again, ever. Trash. And I say that with all honesty. I'm not being biased here. I gave them both a chance. If they were good, I would say that they were good. And I would say I really liked that, but I didn't. I hated it. And the first episode was so bad. I mean, I didn't laugh at a single thing. Oh yeah, and then there's the Agatha girl. Sorry. She's pretty good. I like her. She's doing a good job being a supporting character. You see, I've already been spoiled about everything because I never really planned on watching this show. And so I already know where she's going to go. And so I like her. I think that she's and also in terms of performance, Paul Bettany's really good. Man, I love Paul Bettany. If you guys have a chance to check out Manhunt Unabomber on Netflix, he is so good in that. He is really good. And he, honestly, Marvel is wasting his talent. He needs to be in some good movies. He needs to be starring in some movies along with Mark Strong from Cruella. If you guys saw that review, he deserves better because this show is not it. And then you got Elizabeth Olsen. She's doing a pretty good job. You know, she was kind of one note in both episodes, but I like watching her. I think she's good, and she's not like, you know, cardboard cutout character, if you know what I mean. And I mean in terms of acting as well, but just overall. So please give it a thumbs up, this video I mean. Subscribe and comment. Tell me what you thought of these episodes, because, woo, not a great start. Goodbye, everybody. See you soon.